Imagine stumbling upon a village so impossibly beautiful that you question whether you've stepped into a dream or discovered a hidden portal to another world. Today, we're journeying to 7 extraordinary villages that defy reality itself, places where centuries-old magic seems to linger in the very air you breathe. What you're about to see will challenge everything you thought you knew about travel destinations. These aren't your typical tourist spots plastered across Instagram feeds. These are the world's best-kept secrets, villages so enchanting that they've inspired countless fairy tales and legends. But here's the twist that'll keep you watching until the very end. One of these villages completely vanishes for half the year, and another can only be reached by walking through what locals call a portal between dimensions. Let's begin our mystical journey in the remote valleys of Austria, where the village of Halstatt emerges from morning mist like something painted by the gods themselves. Nestled between towering alpine peaks and a mirror-like lake, this tiny settlement of barely 800 souls has remained virtually unchanged for over 4,000 years. The pastel-colored houses cascade down the mountainside in perfect harmony, their wooden balconies overflowing with flowers that seem to glow in the ethereal light. But Halstatt's true magic lies beneath its surface. This village sits atop one of the world's oldest salt mines, and for millennia, locals have descended into these crystalline caves that sparkle like underground galaxies. The salt has preserved everything it touches, including 2,500-year-old mining tools and even human remains that tell stories of ancient civilizations. Walking through Halstatt feels like traveling through time itself, where each cobblestone whispers secrets of bygone eras. Our second destination takes us to the Italian Riviera, where Manarola clings impossibly to cliffs that drop straight into the Mediterranean Sea. This village defies gravity and logic, its colorful tower houses stacked vertically like a child's blocks painted in brilliant yellows, oranges, and reds. What makes Manarola truly magical isn't just its death-defying architecture, but the way it transforms with each passing hour. During golden hour, the village becomes a living jewel box, its walls reflecting light across the azure waters below. The ancient terraced vineyards that surround Manarola create geometric patterns across the landscape that seem almost alien in their precision. Local winemakers have cultivated these impossible slopes for over 1,000 years, creating wines that taste of sea spray and mountain minerals. At night, Manarola twinkles like a constellation that fell from the heavens and decided to make the clifftops home. Now we venture into the Scottish Highlands, where the village of Portree on the Isle of Skye emerges from landscapes so dramatic they seem sculpted by giants. This harbour village, with its rainbow row of Georgian houses, sits beneath towering mountains that change color with the shifting Highland weather. But Portree's enchantment goes far deeper than its picturesque facade. The village serves as gateway to some of Scotland's most mystical sites, including ancient stone circles and fairy pools, where legend claims supernatural beings once danced under moonlight. The surrounding Isle of Skye is steeped in Celtic mythology, where every loch holds stories of water spirits and every mountain peak harbors ancient magic. Locals speak of hearing phantom bagpipe music drifting across the moors and witnessing lights dancing above the village that have no earthly explanation. Our fourth mystical destination transports us to Bavaria, where Rothenburg ob der Tauber exists in a state of suspended animation. This medieval walled city appears exactly as it did 500 years ago, complete with original cobblestone streets, half-timbered houses, and Gothic spires reaching toward cloudy skies. Walking through Rothenburg feels like stepping through a time portal into a Brothers Grimm story. The village maintains its enchantment through meticulous preservation of medieval traditions. Every December, it transforms into a winter wonderland that inspired the world's image of a perfect Christmas village. Gas lanterns flicker along narrow alleyways, casting dancing shadows that seem to bring the ancient walls to life. The night watchman still conducts torchlit tours, sharing tales of medieval life and supernatural encounters that locals swear continue to this day. Let's journey to Romania's Carpathian Mountains, where the village of Viskri hides among rolling hills like a secret waiting to be discovered. This Saxon settlement, founded 800 years ago, remains frozen in time with its fortified church standing guard over traditional peasant houses. What makes Viskri truly extraordinary is its complete disconnection from the modern world. Locals still practice subsistence farming using methods unchanged for centuries. Horse-drawn carts navigate unpaved streets, and families gather water from ancient wells. The village exists in such harmony with nature that UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site. Prince Charles himself fell under Viskri's spell, purchasing a traditional house and declaring it one of Europe's most magical places. The supernatural atmosphere is palpable, with locals sharing stories of protective spirits that watch over the village and mysterious lights that appear above the church during significant events. Our sixth destination takes us to the French Alps, where Annecy enchants visitors with its pristine medieval charm and impossibly blue canals. Known as the Venice of the Alps, this lakeside village captivates with its perfectly preserved old town, where 12th century buildings reflect in crystal-clear waters. The Palais de Lille, a triangular castle sitting in the middle of the Chu River, looks like something from a fairy tale illustration. Annecy's magic intensifies during different seasons. Summer brings flower-filled window boxes and outdoor cafes overlooking turquoise waters so clear you can see every pebble on the bottom. Winter transforms the village into a snow globe scene, with the surrounding Alps creating a dramatic backdrop for ice skating on frozen canals. The weekly markets fill ancient squares with colors and aromas that transport visitors to medieval times. Finally, we arrive at our most mysterious destination, the village of Giethoorn in the Netherlands, a place so surreal it seems like nature's own fairy tale creation. Known as the Dutch Venice, Giethoorn has no roads, only waterways connecting thatched roof farmhouses that date back to the 13th century. Transportation happens exclusively by boat, bicycle, or foot along winding paths that seem designed by woodland creatures. The village's origin story reads like fantasy itself. Medieval peat diggers discovered so many goat horns from an ancient flood that they named their settlement Giethoorn, meaning goat horn. Today, this car-free paradise maintains its mystical atmosphere through strict preservation of traditional architecture and sustainable living practices. Visitors glide silently through narrow waterways beneath ancient bridges, past gardens that bloom in impossible abundance, feeling like they've discovered a secret world hidden from modern civilization. These 7 villages prove that magic still exists in our world, waiting for those brave enough to seek it out. Each represents a portal to different times and dimensions, where fairy tales feel more real than reality itself. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss our next incredible travel video.